Hey guys, and welcome to my review for the HG Build Fighters Transient Gundam. Let me just say right off the bat that I absolutely really like this mobile suit and this kit. The kit is really simple, but it's really effective. The details are really nice, and it's got articulation pretty much very good in all the areas that you would need it. And if you'll notice, I'm also using a new black background here, so hopefully you're able to see that white on there very well and able to see all those details in there. There's quite a bit, and there's not really much else in terms of color for this kit other than white, except for the few purple pieces for the feet, the middle section, the front crotch part, and then there's one piece in the face as well. And then of course we have all the clear blue parts, and the clear blue parts are looking really nice. I really like that color of clear blue. Like I said in the unboxing, I think it does look really nice. One problem is for the larger parts, it is a little bit difficult to clean up the nub marks on there without having to sand that clear, and then of course you're ruining the kind of clear glossy finish on those. But just a reminder, Tamiya and I know some other companies I'm sure also make a kind of finishing product where you can basically use that mixed with sanding and then use the finishing compound to return that glossy look to your plastic. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, there are some good tutorials online. I'll try to throw a link to one of those down below. But it's pretty simple, just Google how to use Tamiya finisher or finishing compound, something like that. You should be able to find something, no problem. I did put the stickers on this kit as well. There weren't very many. They're mostly just underneath the GN condensers, on the knees, the elbows, the side of the head, and then there's a sticker in the chest, of course, and then there's a sticker for the eyes. Now when we take a look at the articulation in a moment, I'll give you a closer look at the face so you can see that a little bit better. So now you can't see it right now as I've got it in the chin down, eyes up, dramatic pose there. But in terms of other problems with this kit, there are a couple of seam lines that you're going to have to work on, but that's pretty much to be expected in any high grade. The amount of seam lines that there are on this kit is very limited, so you really don't need to do a whole lot of work there. The problem with the biggest seam lines that it has, though, are going to be on the wrist. So why don't we take a look at the articulation now, and I'll point those out to you a little bit closer. Alright, and as we get into the articulation of this kit, you will also notice that I haven't cut off the flags here. There's some here on the top of the V-fin. On these points that stick on the shoulder, there's some flags there. And on the shoulder armor as well, there's even some tips there. Those you could clean up, all of those, to make it all nice and pointed everywhere. I just haven't done that yet because, like I've mentioned many times now, I kind of like the look of the flags on the V-fin. It looks kind of cool. I think they could be maybe sanded down to be a little bit more flat. But I do kind of like that. The other ones, though, I'll probably go ahead and wipe those out for sure. But anyway, the head, of course, is able to look up only about that far. Not all that much. Basically look straight. So it's really not able to look up that much. I guess that's probably hindered basically because of this part in the back. The head bumps into that. So if you wanted, you can maybe sand that down, just change the shape of that a little bit if you wanted it to be able to look up higher. But looking down, as you saw, is no problem at all. And then of course it's able to move to the side, no problem. It's almost a little bit too loose there, but it's not bad. And then rotate, of course, is no problem. If we just move that around a little bit, it is able to chicken neck just a little bit because it is using just that normal polycap joint there. Here in the shoulders, your arms are able to go up just about 90 degrees, pretty normal, but good rotation there. And then this part here that is connected is also able to move, so it's kind of moving the part, it's like the side of the chest there, so that is able to move a little bit. Shoulder armor is able to go up and down like that. It doesn't come away from the body enough to go any higher than that, so that's the maximum height for those. Getting rotation there, a good double jointed elbow, that's very nice. The wrist is just on a ball joint, so pretty normal there, nothing special. Taking a closer look at the face here, and also using some new macro filters I got for my camera here, so I'm able to get the focus very close for you guys. So that's looking very good, I must say. I'm really glad I bought these. I hope you guys are enjoying that. It's going to really help for a lot of reviews and tutorials and stuff. I can get much closer. So anyway, yeah, taking a closer look at the face, you can see the sticker there. Looks pretty good. Of course, it's still going to look better. Just go ahead and paint that yourself. Though, once again, I do really like that the V-fin, like this V-fin and the sides of the face and the faceplate in the center is all one part. Anyway, that is really cool that it's all one part, and it does look pretty good. The clear piece up in the top looks okay, although I'm not totally sure that once it's all painted, I don't know, just to make sure that it looks very clear and crystal, how it's supposed to look, it might be kind of hard to keep that look, but it does look good right now. Moving into the waist, we've got some pretty good movement there, forward and back actually, and it does stay pretty well if you want to keep it in that position. And then moving down to the front skirts. Front skirts are joined together, but it is pretty easy to separate them, so I'll just go ahead and show you how to do that really quickly. We can just pop these off, like that. And here you can see we've got that same ball joint pieces inside there. We'll just take our nippers and just cut that right in the middle, then just put it back. And there we go. Now we've got individually moving front skirts. The side skirts are able to go up just about that high, not all that much, and the legs are able to go out nice and far there, so that's going to be no problem at all. And then forward and back, again, no problems at all, because the front skirt and the back skirt is also very minimal, pretty much nothing in the back. The front skirts, they're able to move up totally out of the way, so we've got no problem there. The knee, we're getting a nice double joint there in the knee, and so you're gonna have no problems getting a pretty good bend. It's not 180 degrees, but it's more than 90 definitely, so that's pretty good. In the ankles, we do have this front armor piece that does move a little bit up and down like that. And then the feet, here's what the feet look like in their open position if you want to have it standing, but then if you want to close them up like this for when it's in an aerial or a flying position, you can do that. The ankles are basically just on a ball joint. They're just able to move side to side, forward and back, not really, but side to side enough. Let's see how far we can get it to stand. This is going to be about the maximum width of the stance where you can keep the feet flat on the ground and the kit's still standing. And then moving it around to the backpack, this part here at the bottom is just able to move up and down like that. But these ones here on the side are on ball joints, so you are getting a little bit of like forward and back movement there, and then a little bit of rotation. So they are able to move pretty well, but of course just this bottom part kind of runs into the hip area, and then the top part of course will run into the shoulder area. So you're able to move them pretty well, but of course it is going to be limited by just running into other parts of the mobile suit. Out about that far, so some pretty cool movement there. I don't really like this piece sticking down and out because it kind of looks like a tail, which I don't really like, but I guess you could have it something like straight out. It doesn't really help all that much, but it's okay. It's in the back and it's really not all that noticeable. If you're looking at the kit from the front, you're not really noticing that clear blue piece in the back all that much. You're just noticing pretty much the chest and the face, and all this stuff going on here is basically what you're going to be looking at. And just for a quick size comparison here, you can see the Transient Gundam compared to the RX-78 Gundam. Transient Gundam is coming in a little bit higher, and it's definitely looking a lot flashier too, with just all that stuff pointed out everywhere, but it's still going to be a relatively small kit. Another cool thing to mention is that it is having the ports on the front of the arm, so any weapons from the Exia or the Astria Gundams that you want to use with this kit, I believe they should work just fine. And it has these ports here on the front just above the hands where you could plug in some beam sabers if you have the beam sabers that have the square plugins like that, like I believe the ones that come with the Exia Gundam. So you can use those there at the wrist. It would have been nice if they would have thrown in a couple of beam sabers with this kit for us, but it's okay. Just to give you a look at the seam lines that I was talking about here, you can see on the wrist, on the front, and then on the back of the wrists you're going to have a seam line there. The legs is pretty much okay. You can see it going back on this part, but that's going to be pretty easy. They've kind of tried to hide it by including this kind of lip there in the center, and so like one side is a seam line, the other side is just molded like that. So it's kind of hidden. With a little glue on there, it should be fine. And that's pretty much it for the seam lines. Pretty much everything else is okay. On the top of the shoulders, you have a just kind of normal. That's very, very common for high grade kits to have a seam on the top of the shoulders. But again, not too bad. And it's angular and flat, so very easy to just wipe that out. And that's pretty much it. The head doesn't really have any seam lines, which is good. The head is usually a difficult area to remove any seams, but they've done a pretty good job of hiding any seam lines that might be on the head. So that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at some of the accessories that we're going to be getting with this. Alright, so the first thing that we're getting with this kit is a base, and it's very cool. Same clear blue color that we're getting for the effect parts for the kit, and as you'll see in a minute, for the weapons as well. So this simply plugs in to the crotch, then we can fold up those feet, bring down the ankle armor a bit, and straighten up its back. I found that this piece on the back does have a tendency to fall off, so I think once you're finished, it'd be a good idea to go ahead and glue that into place. You can adjust the angle here a little bit, basically by taking, let's take the kit off again. If you take off this piece here, you can move it to like this position if you want, or further down like to there, so you can adjust that a little bit, so that's pretty cool. The next thing that we're going to be getting is a open hand. It's nice. Sadly it's only one, and it would have been nice to have two, but at least we do have one, so that's pretty good. And the last accessory is going to be the lances, and we do have two of them, and they each have a dedicated holding hand for those, so one for the left and one for the right. These are really, really nice. I do like them quite a bit. The effect parts do look pretty good. Here at the top, they are able to open up. So you're able to open them up like this, if you want to have them more kind of shooting, or I don't know, if you wanted to make them just like straight on, however you want. Basically you can move those around. I think this is as far as you can move them back. So from here to here, that's the range of movement there, and then here to here, like that. If you'll notice, there is a little notch there, a female and male end, so when you put them together, they do connect together very nicely there at the tip. And they are a little bit heavy. I mean, they're really not all that heavy, but the kit itself is really not all that heavy either. So when you put them on, the weight issue is really not too bad, but I have a feeling that over time, if you left them like that, the weight could become a little bit of an issue. The other thing that these are able to do is that they are able to separate into two parts. So if we'll just take off the hand here. So we do have the two individual parts, and then they just fit together, similar to like the, I think it's the Freedom or Strike Freedom's beam sabers. They also fit together like that, and I'm sure other kits have something similar as well, but that's how those fit together. Okay, so after a little bit of finagling, was able to get into this pose. This is kind of the main centerfold pose that they're kind of showing off in the manual here, like that. It's not really the easiest to do, and in my opinion, it's not really even the best. You can do quite a lot of really nice posing using these lances, but this is one option that you can do if you wanted to kind of channel the Evangelion Mark 13 pose. That's I think pulled off quite a bit better with that kit with the double lances, but that is also very difficult to do. So anyway, I'll give you guys a look at a couple other poses here as I move into the wrap up for this review. That's pretty much going to be it, so let me change the pose because I don't really want to end on this note. Alright, so that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the HG Transient Gundam. Once again, if you couldn't tell, I was very impressed with this kit. I like it quite a bit. I did find, as I was changing the pose again, the weight of the lances is coming to be a little bit of an issue, so Just keep that in mind. It's mostly in the shoulders. The shoulders have a little bit of a hard time holding up that weight. The elbows and the wrists are pretty much fine. The hands work really well to hold it. It's just in the shoulders it can get a little bit weak, but especially if you're going to be painting it or something, that's going to tighten up those shoulders a little bit. Or there are ways to just tighten it up anyway without painting it, just using some glue or things like that. So not really anything to really worry too much about. I think this kit basically does everything that you're going to want it to do, and it looks really, really good doing it. Some of the poses, the kit is just really, really dynamic looking, so it doesn't really take a whole lot of effort or creativity to get some really cool poses out of this, so that's pretty much not an issue. The other thing that I'd have to say is that it's also just very reasonably priced for 1,800 yen. That is a little bit high when you think of basically how simple this is, and it doesn't really come with a whole lot of accessories. It's only got basically the 2 weapons, but it does have a stand, and a lot of the parts are in clear blue. So the stand is in clear blue, and then we've got 2 runners, although they're a little bit small, but 2 runners of clear blue parts. So the clear parts are usually going to be something that's going to run up the price a little bit of a kit. But overall, just the molding, everything is really nice, so I think that price is pretty good for this kit. It's definitely recommended. I would definitely recommend buying this to anyone who likes the look of the mobile suit or likes the look of the kit. So that's pretty much going to be it for this review, guys. The next review is going to be the Master Grade XX, so look forward to that very soon. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.